writing algebraic models from word problems. Okay, so a lot of times we have word problems, and before we can solve anything, we have to turn those words into mathematical expressions. So honestly, the easiest way is to practice a lot. But basically, you want to look at these different categories of words, and when you see them written in word problems, that's a hint as to which symbol to use. So addition, we have sum, the sum of A and B, that's A plus B, or something increased by, more, plus, total, all of these. Minus is the difference, or reduced by, take away. Times would be the word product, or we often use this word of to mean times. Doubled is times 2, tripled is times 3, and so on. Quotient means divide, or the word ratio or the word per often means we're dividing. And for equals, usually you'll see the word is, are, was, gives, yields, costs sometimes. So let's do some examples. Let's start here with number 1. Joe is 5 years older than Ali. I always look for the word is or are or costs. That's the equal sign. So Joe, let's use the letter J. Joe equals 5 years older than Ali. Well, that to me implies a plus sign. So we can take Ali's age and we can add 5 to it. Okay, let's look at another one. My gym membership cost is the equal sign. So the cost is $100 joining fee and, which is usually plus, $50 per month. So $100 joining fee, it's like a one-time fee, and $50 per month. So it's $50 every month, so you're going to times the number of months. Okay, let's look at another one. May's salary is $1,000 less than Layla's. Again, the equal sign tells you, or goes with the is. May's salary is $1,000 less than Layla's. So we can take Layla's salary and subtract 1,000. Okay, let's look at another one. I like to tip the waiter 15% of the bill when eating out. Okay, so the tip should be 15%. Now remember, for percents, you can write that as a decimal. You move the decimal place 2 places. 15% of the bill. So of in math means times the total bill, and that will give us the tip. Okay, let's look at another one. The sale price S is equal to the difference. Difference means subtract. Difference between the original price and the discount. So we subtract the original price and the discount. Okay, let's look at another one. We have another percent problem. The interest so this has to do with banking, that I earned was is like the equal sign, 8% of, so 0.08 of the original deposit, which we're calling P. So you can see, you kind of look for the is or the was or the costs, and that's the equal sign, and you go from there. So here's some more problems. These look a little bit more complicated than what we just did, but let's try it. A power company charges one household, it looks like 12 cents per kilowatt hour and $14.89 in monthly taxes. So the cost is going to be the 12 cents per kilowatt hour. So times every, I guess they want to use the letter K hours. Plus you also have to, this word and is plus, you also have to pay $14.89 every month. Okay, so that's part A. And then in part B, when it says, what's the monthly charge or cost if they use 1,200 kilowatt hours? So they're saying K is 1,200. We need to find C, the cost. So that's a case where we will just plug it in. So we plug in K equals 1,200 into the equation we found in part A, And when we put that in our calculator, we get that the final cost for the month, if you use that much power, will be $158.89. In this case, it's dollars. Okay, let's look at this second problem. Looks a little bit more complicated. So we have the cost to rent an apartment. So we're going to have the cost equals, it's $640 per month, so that's going to be $640 times the number of months, plus a $500 deposit, so that's just one time, plus $200 for each dog or cat. So we'll say it's plus 200 times the number of dogs or cats. That looks like the equation. Okay, so now let's do part B that says, all right, well, what's the cost going to be if your months equals 12 and the number of pets, 2 cats and 1 dog, that equals 3 pets. So the number of pets equals 3. So what we'll do is we'll just replace those values into the equation for M and N. Our cost is $640 per month times 12 months, plus the $500 security deposit, plus the $200 for each of the 3 pets that we have. So we put that all in our calculator and we realize that at the end of 12 months, we had to pay a total of $8,780 in this case for our rent. Okay, and this last one looks even a little bit more complicated because now we're moving on with percents, but let's read what it says. It says a hotel charges $159 per night plus 11% in a room tax per night. So let's see what that is. The cost equals $159 times the number of nights plus 11%. So 11% is 0.11 times $159, and that's for each night as well. Now, before we move on, we can simplify this a little bit. So let's do that. We've got 159n. Then we'll do this multiplication, 11% of 159, and it ends up being $17.49. That's our tax each night. And if we want, we can even combine those two by adding same with same. And we get a final equation that the cost is going to be $176.49 if that's the base rate for the hotel plus the tax. And we're going to multiply that by the number of nights that we stay. Okay, so that's part A. Let's see about part B. They say, all right, well, what's the cost for 4 nights? So they're saying if n equals 4, find the cost. So again, we just replace that into our equation. C equals 176.49 times 4 nights. And in this case, we'd get a total cost of $705.96 for those 4 nights in the hotel.